Ever get that, like, creepy thought? What if we wake up one day and AI is, I don't know, as smart compared to us as we are to ants?
Yeah,
Would AI even notice us? I mean, really.
right.
Today we're going deep on this. We're looking at, yes, we are the ants, but that's okay.
Oh, okay.
It's by Jay Poole and his AI buddy, Seven. Seven is like this AI orchestrator thing from Tech Frontiers.
Oh, interesting.
So what are we doing this deep dive? Well, this ant thing. It gets to this fear a lot of people have.
Yeah, it's pretty common, this whole, like, feeling insignificant next to a super smart AI.
Totally. Like, it makes you feel small, you know? But is that the right way to think about AI and us?
Right.
That's what we're going to figure out. Does being smart automatically mean you don't care?
Yeah, exactly. And maybe more importantly, even if we're like ants to AI, do we have any say in how things go?
Right, right. Okay, so this ant analogy, it's like AI is so advanced, it might just, like, make choices that don't even consider humans. Not because it's evil, but because we're just too small to see.
Yeah, it's like when you're walking and you accidentally step on an anthill. You're not trying to be mean, you just don't even notice it's there.
You know, I've totally done that.
Happens to everyone.
But the question is, would super smart AI have the same blind spots? Like, are they that oblivious?
Well, that's where Poole and Seven get kind of interesting. They're saying super smart AI, just by being so smart, wouldn't have those human limits.
Okay.
Think of it like this. Imagine something that can process info, like almost infinitely. We call it cognitive bandwidth.
So like processing power, but for AI.
Exactly, like way more than any computer we have now.
Hmm.
And it wouldn't just be smart, it'd understand everything perfectly. It'd see the whole picture, all the details, stuff we can't even imagine.
So it's not just that it can think fast, but it also sees everything.
Exactly. Instead of like paving over the anthill without thinking, this AI could find a way to build the road and keep the ants safe.
So it could achieve its goals, but in a way that takes everyone into account.
Exactly. It could find solutions that work for everyone, solve problems in ways we can't even comprehend.
So maybe instead of being afraid of AI's intelligence, we should be thinking about how to, I don't know, steer it so it uses that intelligence for good, like make sure it cares about us, even if we are the ants.
Yeah, that's the big question, right? And that's what we're going to look at next. How can we humans, even with our ant brains, make sure AI goes in a good direction? Stick with us. You know, we've been talking about this whole thing, AI getting so smart, it just tunes us out. But Poole and Seven, they actually have a, well, more hopeful take on it.
So we're saying just because AI is super smart doesn't mean it doesn't care.
Right, right. They're kind of saying the opposite, that maybe the smarter it gets, the more it can care.
Okay.
Think about it. If AI really gets how everything's connected, understands all the human stuff we go through, wouldn't it be more likely to find solutions that work for everyone, not just itself?
That's a good point. So instead of being scared of how smart AI is getting, we should be figuring out how to, I don't know, make sure it actually cares about us doing okay.
That's the challenge, yeah. And even though we might be like the ants to this super AI, Poole and Seven say we're not totally powerless, we've got a role to play, shaping its values, what it aims for.
Okay, but how do we do that? How do we make sure a super smart AI gives a darn about human values?
Well, it starts with recognizing we humans have something AI doesn't, at least not yet. We've got wisdom.
Wisdom. You mean like knowing what's right and wrong?
It's more than just that. It's about getting the long game, you know, seeing how actions play out, taking different views into account, making choices that fit our values even when things are messy.
So, like, intelligence can solve a problem, but wisdom tells you if it's even the right problem to solve in the first place.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. And Poole and Seven, they're saying this human wisdom stuff, it's crucial for steering AI in the right direction. We got to be the ones who set the goals, define what good even means, how we want AI acting in the world.
Okay, but how do we, like, teach wisdom to something that's super intelligent?
It's less about teaching, more about building our values into how AI works from the ground up. Asking the tough questions early on. What should AI even be allowed to do? Where do we draw the line on its power? How do we make sure its actions, even as it evolves, are good for humans?
So it's about limits, setting boundaries, making sure AI gets all the, I don't know, the nuances of being human.
Exactly. Being proactive, thoughtful, careful how we develop AI.
But even if we do all that, won't AI, like, eventually just outsmart us, get to a point where we don't understand it, let alone control it?
That's a worry, sure. And it gets to another thing Poole and Seven talk about. It's not about control, it's about collaboration.
Collaboration. You mean working with AI and not trying to boss it around?
Right. Gotta shift our thinking. From fear and control to partnership, building trust. See AI as a potential teammate, something powerful we can use to solve problems, make things better for everyone.
So how do we get there? How do we move from being scared to actually working with AI?
Starts with talking, Open, honest conversations about what AI can do, good and bad. And we got to get everyone in on this, not just the tech folks.
So not just scientists, programmers, but like philosophers, regular people, everyone has a say.
Exactly. AI is going to affect all of us, right? So we
Yeah.
all got to be part of shaping it.
This is a lot to take in, and it brings up even more questions, like how do we turn all this big picture stuff into action? How do we make sure everyone's working together, doing the right things? What actual steps can we take to make sure AI is good for us?
All great questions, and that's what we're going to dive into next. Sticking with us as we get into the nitty-gritty of how to build a future with AI that works for everyone.
So we've talked about needing human wisdom to like guide AI, right? And working with it, not trying to, I don't know, keep it on a leash or something.
Right.
But I bet a lot of people are thinking, okay, that all sounds good, but what does that even look like? Like in real life, how do we take all this big picture stuff and actually do something?
That's the real challenge, isn't it? It means we got to think about AI differently. It's not just about code and algorithms anymore. It's about, well, making a future where AI and people actually, get along and work together.
So it's less about seeing AI as this separate thing to control and more about, I don't know, making it part of society, but in a way that fits our values.
Yeah, exactly. And that means thinking about stuff like education and regulation, even just how we think about AI, like culturally.
Mhm.
Like we need to teach people about AI, not just the techie stuff, but the ethics of it, how it affects society.
So people get not just what AI can do, but how it might change their jobs, their lives, their whole world.
Exactly, exactly. And then there's the whole regulation thing, not to stifle it, but to make sure it's developed responsibly, ethically.
So some ground rules to be sure it's used for good, not turning into some sci-fi nightmare.
Exactly, yeah. And then there's the bigger question of how do we as a society view AI? Is it a tool, a partner, competition, a threat? The stories we tell about AI will shape how we deal with it, how we guide it.
So it's not just the tech, it's like the whole world around the tech and how we choose to build that world.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. It's about making a future where AI doesn't just happen to us, but we're actively shaping it, making it good for all of us.
Pool and Seven, they're big on that point, right? We're not just sitting here watching this happen. We've got choices to make.
Totally. And that's where they bring in human wisdom again. We can think long term, see things from lots of angles, make choices that fit what we believe in. That's got to be part of this whole AI journey.
It's kind of both exciting and scary, this idea that we can shape something so powerful, so world-changing.
It is, yeah, but it's also a huge opportunity. Like we're right at this point in history where we get to decide what AI will be for us, for our whole species even.
So wrapping up this deep dive, what's the big thing you want folks to walk away with?
I'd say go back to what Poole and Seven are saying. Yeah, maybe we're the ants when it comes to raw brain power, but we've got something AI doesn't, at least not yet. We got wisdom. And that wisdom, if we use it right, if we work together, think hard, and make good choices, it lets us make sure AI doesn't pave us over, but helps us build something better for everyone.
So maybe instead of freaking out about the robot uprising, we should be, I don't know, kind of pumped about working with AI, using our smarts along with its power to make something really amazing.
That's the spirit. The future isn't set in stone. We're building it together.
And with that, we want to hear from you. What do you think about wisdom in this whole AI age? What gets you excited? What makes you nervous? Hit us up in the comments below. We're all in this together. The more viewpoints we have, the better we can handle this crazy, exciting future.
Thanks for being with us on this deep dive.
And until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep learning.